Hi there, traders. This is Chris from Elite Currency. We have a new week ahead of us, so we're going to take a look what to expect from the euro dollar and the pound dollar in this last bit of November and the start of December. Let's start with the euro dollar. Euro dollar did continue to the upside as expected. That this was probably going to be a wave 1, 3, 4, 5. Let me show you. On lower time frames, we'll see that a bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the bounce at 117.50, 117 as indicated did indeed happen. So we got a break to the upside. We actually traded this with ECS live as well. Got about close to 150 pips on this. This could still extend further. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, and you can see that we've had a couple of bullish candles in a row. And I think that from this point of view, this last week's candle, again, a confirmation of that uptrend continuation since we've had to break above this resistance trend line. And I think there's a good chance that price will break above last week's high. Let's zoom into the weekly, the 1 hour chart, and you can see that I think that this is most likely a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and this could be a 5. All right, and we're talking about the 5 of a bigger wave 5. And within wave 5s, there's another wave 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. So there could be a little bit of retracement here, and then a continuation higher. That's what I'm expecting at the beginning of this week. What I would do is basically put a fib from here to here, which is the wave 3 at this moment. And what I would not expect is a deeper retracement than 119. So 119 could be a bouncing spot. If it breaks below that, or let's say 118.90, then maybe something else is going on. The real invalidation level of this wave 4 is this top at 118.75. Because if price breaks below that, then this is not a wave 4, not at least in this way, like 1, 2, 3, 4, because then it's invalidated. So anything around 119, 119.10, even 118.90 could be bouncing spots for upside and continuation up to the minus 61.8 target. I think is a pretty neat target at 120, the round level as well. So this could be one dip and continuation on the euro dollar. From a 4-hour perspective, we can see that the big retracement happened here. We're looking at this live and saying, okay, this is a bounce or break spot. If it bounces, we can have this wave 5. It did bounce, it did break. Now we're getting extension of that, and I think it could last to 120. This is basically wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we're in a wave 5 as indicated, and that this could be basically right here. This could be a wave 5 of 5 of 5, perhaps. All right. Looking at the daily chart, I think that there could be resistance at 120. First of all, we have a round level at 120. Second of all, we have tops in here. And what I think at this moment is most likely is that when it finishes wave 5 of 5 of 5 up in 120, I would expect that to finish like a wave 1, a bigger wave 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's an ABC correction for a wave 2. What I'm going to do is, if price reaches 120 and bounces at 120, is put a fib from the bottom to the top. And what I would expect the ABC to return is basically to the 23 or the 38, bounce, then go down to the 50 or 61 or even 78.6 fib, and then bounce back up again. So that's the pattern what I'm expecting. And then this could be a wave 3, this would finish a wave 1, and this would be a wave 2. All right, so many wave patterns in this video this time around. But I think it's important for the overall kind of structure at this moment. That's my view. At this moment, it might change depending on how price bounces at 120. If it bounces very strongly with 5 waves and basically then shows a pullback and starts to break below basically these fibs and these bottoms, then in that case, of course, we're in a downtrend again. All right. The alternative would be that this is more of an ABC rather than a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that this is basically one correction. This is a bearish correction, and we get one more leg down like this as an expanded wave 4. At this moment, I think wave 4 is finished here. But if there's a strong reaction here and price gets basically into this kind of mode, breaks below this bottom specifically, then the wave 4 could be extended. And then we could get a bigger 3-wave correction like this. This could be W, X, Y. All right, so alternative is that price breaks actually above this resistance zone. For the moment, though, I think that it's more likely that the price will bounce than break this is the first approach of this sizable and important resistance zone. So when it reaches there the first time, I expect at least a little bit of bounce, either, as I said, through an ABC, or otherwise through some kind of bull flag, maybe on the 4-hour chart, where we have a couple of days that price goes sideways like this, and then indeed price might continue and with this trend to the upside. But for the moment, expecting 120-ish, 119.75, 120.25, around that region, to be a potential hurdle, and that I would expect an ABC correction and an upside. That's the main scenario, but the alternative is sideways break, or basically a bigger correction still within this larger wave 4. All right, so those are the 3 scenarios. I think that this one, the first one I mentioned, is at the moment the most likely. So waiting for a little bit of a dip and then continuation up to 120 in the near term. With regard to the pound dollar at this moment, but before I take a look at that, by the way, just a quick note, we do have a Black Friday special promotion discount on SWAT and CAMACD trend module, and the ECS Live prices will stay at this current rate and will go up next week. So special for these coming days. Just wanted to quickly mention that before I forget about it. Actually, almost forgot. So if you're interested in our methods, check out elitecurrency.com and see if that's something for you, this particular 25/30% discount. All right, let's move on to the pound dollar. And basically pound did bounce at this resistance zone, right here, but actually broke above it after that. So we had a bounce, but it was pretty choppy and corrective, and price broke through that bull flag. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, and we have a pretty good weekly candle breaking above these candle highs. So from this perspective, I think downside is invalidated. I was already looking at these 2 bullish candles and saying an upside towards this resistance is likely, but I did expect a bounce there. There was a small bounce, but not much of a bounce, and price already broke above it. So from my point of view, we're now in a bullish structure on the pound dollar, and we can take a look at the daily candle. All right, now we have to be a little bit careful still because of the fact that the range was so big and we didn't really close much on the daily chart above it. We're still kind of have a close right at it. I do think it's bullish. I just want to say that fake outs, especially with a big structure like this, is something that could happen. So if there is a daily candle with a big wick like this on top of it, still maybe even ending up bearish, got to be careful of that, and there could be a bigger retracement. Just being practical, and want to be careful with this breakout. That's all. Otherwise, it is, yes, in a bullish channel, and yes, it could continue higher. And I think that there could be some targets to think about, maybe at 134, 135, 136. Let's take a look at lower time frames here. Hourly chart, for instance. All right. So I think it depends at this moment. I mean, with the euro dollar, I have a clear vision. With the pound dollar, not so much. I think it really depends on how Monday opens. I would almost rather wait for Monday to finish and then look at it again Tuesday, and we'll have a new video by then. It really depends. I mean, is there a gap open like this and a bull flag? Continuation with this in this channel is not so strange to think about that. Is there a gap down and a bounce maybe here potential, right? Or is there no gap and price just kind of makes a sideways move like that and a triangle? In that case, a bullish break would be interesting too. The downside, really not that interested unless it probably breaks below at least this top and bottom here, right around 132.80, 132.75. We need to see bearish momentum in the bear flag and then a continuation for downside. Otherwise, we are in a bullish structure, just waiting maybe for a little bit of a dip or an upside and flag for continuation, basically. Looking for patterns. I think that's my main message for the moment. I'm not sure. At this moment, I don't see a pattern. It will have to be something that happens on Monday. I think we will review it again on Tuesday. Thanks, and wish you all good trading. Talk to you soon. Cheers.